Coach, this team came out of the locker room hot and handled business in the second half until overtime, and then Jokic did what he does, so much space. How would you have liked to have seen your team address him differently?
Yeah, credit to the Nuggets. They came in and they did what they needed to do to win the game. But this was a game that we played extremely well across the board. The turnovers just was too much to overcome. Jokic is a great player, and the things that we saw he's capable of, and he did it tonight. But I thought our guys, we fought, we competed, we played hard. We did a lot to win the game. We just came up short down the stretch.
When B.I. gets doubled like he did tonight, it was all night.
Yeah.
Consistently. Is there something the team can do to free him up, or is him dishing and getting his teammates more involved the key to handling that?
No, we did it. I mean, he got off the ball. Guys got involved. Guys made shots. We did all of the things necessary. We just got to take care of the ball. And some of them were unforced errors. Throwing the ball out of bounds with nobody on us, things like that we have to be better.
Some of the things you did defensively, especially after the first quarter, that changed the tide a little bit, especially after halftime. I mean, you really locked it down defensively. What adjustments did you make?
We just did what we do harder. We came out in the second half and just upped the level. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough, especially with 31 points off of our turnovers. That's a lot to overcome with our team, and especially against a good team like the Nuggets are.
Herb really starting to establish himself on the offensive end, just the confidence you see from him driving to the bucket and just feeling more confident offensively.
Yeah, I like what I see from him. We all do. He's just getting better and better, but he works at it. And the more he plays, the more he gets comfortable. We're all comfortable with him being on the floor, and it's great to see him mix it up. He's shooting the ball, but he's also making plays, getting in the lane and finishing. All things that, we're proud to see him do.
You guys were up 3 with about a minute regulation. B.I. fouled Monty Morris. He tied the game. Is that an example of just like kind of a small thing that is a difference against good teams and really good players?
Just a tough play. B.I. got hit by a screen, and he was trying to got over late, tried to contest, and unfortunately fouled Morris. But those are the things that we have to be better at down the stretch of games. It's so key to come down, to execute, and to force teams to have to make shots over your defense. And I thought for maybe 40-plus minutes we did that, but then we had a few minutes where we didn't, and they took advantage of it.
And quickly, is there any sort of update on Kyrie Lewis?
Knee sprain, and he's going to get imaging done tonight, so we'll have an update for you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, and down the stretch, just kind of walk us through the decision, just how you defended Jokic, trying to decide whether to double, whether to not knowing he could score, he could pass. I guess how did you guys manage that down the stretch?
Yeah, he's a tough cover. No matter what you do, guys like him, when they make their mind up, they can score. Our game plan was to try to stay home with a lot of their guys and make him have to score. We did somewhat of a good job of that, but his shot fakes got us a few times, getting to the free throw line. But like I said, we did enough to win the game. We just didn't take care of the basketball. And if I can keep it as simple as I can, that's the key for us, take care of the basketball.
Yeah, and I think you guys are now 1-9 in these games that come down to the final 5 minutes. I guess what are you seeing in these close game situations late where your team is just not doing enough to come out with the win?
Just got to get better executing. Simple. And you guys saw tonight we had moments where we were great, especially in the second half, and then down the stretch we just didn't execute well enough.
Will kind of took the question about how you guys were defending Jokic. Is that just kind of something as a coach that you look at and try to get better at as well in terms of deciding whether or not to maybe send another guy or anything like that with him?
Yeah, I think he had 10 assists in the first half, and it was a struggle for us. And I think he had 1 in the second, and that's how we want to defend him. We don't want him picking us apart on both sides with his passing and his ability to score. I mean, he still did what he does. Like I said, it's not necessarily what Jokic did. Our game plan was solid. We just kicked ourselves in the foot.
Christos on Zoom.
head coach.
Christos, we're having some technical trouble hearing you.
Прошу, подключу время.
We're going to cut off. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
It'd be just generally what you see, in the second half, how you guys were able to get back in that game, and what went wrong for you guys, down the stretch in overtime.
Well, in overtime, they just made more shots than us. I think Jokic just made play after play after play, the right play after play after play. And in overtime, we didn't make shots. We could have had a little bit better execution on the offense and defensive end. And thinking in overtime is where I got to be more aggressive. I got to make the adjustment and find a way to help out our team.
And, it seemed like in the third quarter, there was a lot of turning stops into scores. Was that something you saw? Did you feel like that was how you guys, took back control of that game?
Yeah, our pace was going to get us back in it. That was the easiest way for me to score, for sure, getting in transition, getting stops in transition. But when we got pace to our game and we're executing stuff, it's hard. It's hard to stop.
Yeah, and there was that play late in the game where you go under the screen and end up fouling Monty Morris on the three-pointers. What did you kind of see on that play?
This is a bad play for me. I can't commit a foul at that point in the game. And then the one before that, I had another defensive foul. So it was a lot of mistakes on the defensive end for me. And even on the offensive end, I think I could have made the right play after play after play. Seeing guys coming over and seeing the corner wide open, seeing the middle wide open. Could have made some more plays. But that definitely can't happen at the end of the game.
Yeah, and this season, again, you guys are struggling in those late game situations where it's really tight. I guess, what are you seeing with this team as far as what you guys need to improve when the games are close in the final minutes?
You just got to continue to learn and adjust, At the end of the game or throughout the whole game, we ran the pick and roll and they were up the whole night. So we just got to find a way to adjust and get them in a different coverage or just try to attack the coverage and score off of it. But also on the defensive end, we got to get more stops. We can't turn the ball over as much as we did, and we got to execute.
How difficult was it for you to find your rhythm, especially when they're sending a second guy at you seemingly all night?
I think that's what I'm talking about. I just got to find a way to adjust. Knowing if the screen and roll is coming and they're going to continue to blitz, they're going to continue to send two, then I have to find a different way to be effective on the basketball floor, whether it's moving without the basketball, whether it's finding space on the floor and trying to get something quick, whatever it is. Just got to make the adjustment. I don't think I was out of rhythm. I don't think I just didn't take enough shots.
For you, what's kind of your post-game process? Like, how quickly do you review film? Do you look at something after a loss, maybe after a win? Like, what's your post-game process when you want to review the film?
It's a little different. I always like to go and see what I did wrong first. Then some of the good things that I do. But it depends on when we play the Denver Nuggets again. I think watching this film will be a fuel for me, trying to adjust and learn how I can be more efficient and more effective in the next game or in the next time we play the Denver Nuggets. I'm sure Detroit is looking at this game and trying to figure out how they can do the same thing. So I'll put the tape in and try to figure out how I can manipulate the defense.
Career high in scoring from Herb. I think we all know what he can do on the defensive end. But what do you just think about the confidence he's playing on the offensive end right now?
He's been working, and when you've been working, you get the license to take some of the shots he's taken. And we've seen him score the basketball. We've seen him get to the lane, float it, seen him make the right pass. He's a basketball player, and he's just going to do anything to try to win the basketball game. He's going to do anything to try to be effective on the floor, and he's been doing that.
And just what was it like seeing Kyra go down the way he did, knowing how big this season was for him and his progression, kind of seeing him go down like that?
It's tough, especially his teammate that's watching him every day. Him coming down on his foot and buckling his knee a little bit, it looked scary. Took me a moment to get back into the game a little bit, but I immediately tried to pray for him. It looked pretty bad. But I hope all is well with it. I hope he can have a speedy recovery, whatever it is. But the way he was playing, he was getting it. He's learning every single game. He's learning his niche, how he can be better on the basketball floor, offensively and defensively. And he's a young player. He's just learning the game. So he was in a good groove. Hopefully he can get back soon. Yep.
I heard Willie has talked a lot about just the importance of getting stops and getting out and running, and attacking the defense before they get set. Do you feel like you guys were able to do that in the third quarter? Was that part of what helped you get back into this game tonight?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, we try to do it, throughout the course of the game, and I think the third quarter kind of just showed just a little bit of what we trying to do throughout the entire game. Anytime we get stops, we try to get out and run, and I think that really helped us in the third.
And you guys, I think, are 1-9 in like these clutch games this season. Just what are you seeing execution-wise was generally late and close games?
Man, that's it. Just executing when we have to, regardless of the matchups or what the other team try to do. We got to go out and execute what we plan on executing.
And another career high tonight for you in scoring. Just what's it been like to trying to find your way offensively, just where you fit with these guys and how you can be the most effective?
I mean, they tell me to be aggressive, so when it's time to be aggressive, I try to be and just make the right plays. I don't necessarily just go in trying to be a scorer. I just try to make the right plays, and a lot of the times they kind of locked on the other guys, and I just try to make plays.
And we always talk about the work you do with Fred on your jump shot, just how comfortable are you feeling right now with that jumper, and just share a progression in that area of your game?
I mean, I'm pretty comfortable. I got to get my toe off the line. If I know Coach Fred, he drives them crazy. Anybody drives them crazy when I step on the line. But, I mean, it's coming along pretty good. I mean, we're just going to keep working on it.
Do you feel like you're making progress or getting more comfortable, even compared to like preseason, the beginning of the year, in terms of knowing when to shoot your floater, or when to kind of mix up, you know, the different shots? I know you had said a while back that the floater was something that you really thought was going to be important.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be important with elite shot blockers in the NBA. But yeah, I mean, it's a time and place for different finishes. And tonight, when I shot the floaters, I just felt like that was the right time to shoot them.
For you, as being a guy who's been Kyrie's teammate for a while, how tough was that to watch him go down with that knee injury?
Super tough. When I seen it happen, I kind of just went mute, said me a prayer, and just hope the best for him. And when I leave, I'll probably call his mom, try to figure out what's going on, because I don't think he has his phone right now. But I mean, I just hated to see him go down like that, and I just hope, you know, he's good.
Saw Fred like taking a picture of your shooting form with the iPad the other day. Just when you guys like look at photos or film or whatever, what are some things he's pointing out mechanically to you?
My form and just trying to keep it on the left side of my body. A lot of the times when I'm bringing the ball up, I bring it from the right side of my face and try to get it over to the left side instead of just bringing it straight up. And he shows me a lot of that on the iPad. Thank you.
I think we got a couple Zoom questions.
Hi there, Jim Condon from RCB Radio Sports Ireland. When the starting five are all in double figures in terms of point scoring, and the starting five combined for 37 rebounds in a one game, you know you've played well. How as frustrating and as disappointing is it when you play really, really well as a side and still not get the victory?
I mean, we still learning. I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of basketball. You can play really well, and your team may not come out with the victory. And we all just go back to the drawing board and get back to work.
Hello, Herbert. Despite the outcomes, what did you say is the biggest progress of your team so far on both ends of the floor?
You can repeat the question?
Yeah, despite the outcome, what did you say is the biggest progress, the biggest growth of your team on both ends of the floor?
I think we competed the entire night. We executed. I wouldn't say we executed, you know, as well as we wanted to the entire game, but I feel like the progress came in us competing the entire game.